Hey, what is up YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. As all of you will know by now, we've lost one of the great drummers, one of the genuine, legit, nice guys and rock stars, Taylor Hawkins. I've kind of said my piece about how I feel about this, especially on the live video that I did, really went in on that one and talked about what a huge influence he was on me. He was one of my favorite drummers. I've got huge, mad respect for the Foo Fighters, for Dave Grohl, for Taylor Hawkins, the way they conduct themselves, and not to mention their playing ability. Everything about what those guys do and how they do it. And one thing that has happened is I've been talking to a lot of drummer friends, obviously trying to make sense of what's happened and the effect Taylor had on us as players. And yeah, I thought it would be quite nice to share some of their thoughts that they've contributed for this video as some kind of tribute on my channel to one of my drum idols, one of my heroes, Taylor Hawkins. R.I.P.
Man, Taylor Hawkins passing is it's a hard one for the drum community. I think everyone liked and respected Taylor for just being such an iconic monster drummer who really had great chops, but was also just fun to watch. I mean, seeing him play and just the stuff with the bass drum heads he would do with like CB 700 and stuff on it. He's a drummer's drummer for sure. And I met him once in a hotel lobby and he was super nice, which was awesome to meet someone like him. There's tons of great videos of him out there and albums that we can listen to. So we should just all check out Taylor. And it's just so sad. My condolences to his family and friends and everyone who knew him, because we've really lost a great drummer. But thanks, Andrew, for putting this together in memory of Taylor, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
What's up, Andrew? This is Steve from Junk Drummer TV. Thank you for asking me to contribute to your tribute on Taylor Hawkins. Actually, you're the first person that I texted when I found out late last night about this tragedy. Another one of our heroes and brothers gone far, far too soon. This music business is a meat grinder, and it kind of eats us up and spits us out. And yet another tragedy. And it's getting old, to be honest. But I don't want to linger on the sadness of it. Let's be joyful if we can. You know, he had kids and a wife, and that's terrible. And he left them behind. But he left behind for us the thing that he wanted us to have, which was his drumming. And on a day like this, what better way to remember someone than the music that they left behind? And it's one of the greatest pieces of work that any drummer has ever put together. So Taylor Hawkins, thank you for all the songs and all the drumming, and for being a really good dude in a business that is kind of short on good dudes, if you know what I'm saying. So thank you, Taylor.
Hey, this is Nick Douch. I play drums in the band Echo Park. Absolutely gutted by the passing of Taylor Hawkins. He's been a huge influence and hero of mine for over 20 years now. Loved that he was as solid as a rock, but was able to throw chops in like a madman, all while playing for the song. He was an ultimate rock drummer and one of my greatest teachers. Cheers, buddy.
Yo, so just wanted to share some thoughts on the untimely passing of Taylor Hawkins. 50 years old is just far, far too bloody young. My heart just yearns for his family, his wife, his kids, and Dave for having to bury another musical brother. As you can see, anyone who's followed those guys' career, those guys are brothers, and that's just it's so super close. I can't imagine the pain. So my heart just goes out to them all, to everyone involved. Taylor is he's like the quintessential rock drummer. Just plays his ass off, hard-hitting, classy, really thinks about his drum parts, is a very capable songwriter in his own right, and a vocalist. He is the kind of player who is really respectful of the lineage of rock players. When you listen to him on the Foos records, or even on his like solo stuff, you can hear John Bonham influence, you can hear some Phil Collins, you can hear Roger Taylor, obviously a huge influence for him, and that all comes out. But I guess his influence on musicians, and more namely on myself, was that I remember being 13, 14 years old, starting out playing, and the Foos 1 by 1 record was out, and hearing All My Life for the first time, and being a young drummer, and just going, oh my God, I want to do that. That is just, I mean, that even now, as a 34-year-old balding bloody father of a 1-year-old and all the rest of it, that breakdown bit when you come back and dad, harder the next one, that just so awesome. It makes me want to get behind my kit and have a bash. It's just, and I think that is the greatest sort of influence of all. You know, the dude played on songs, on tunes that made other musicians want to go and do it, to want to go and play. I mean, guys like this are just completely irreplaceable. You know, it's not about perfection. It's not about having everything just metronomically precise and it's all on the grid. And I mean, granted, he certainly would have played to clicks here and there in studio and whatnot, but these guys are very respectful in terms of what rock music is and the vibe that it should be. And I think that's a very rare thing nowadays, because ultimately, if you're just seeking perfection, you just get Josh Freese or Vinnie Colaiuta to play on everything. And I mean, those guys are absolutely beautiful for what they are, but I don't think they work in the Foo Fighters. He's just irreplaceable. And we're coming off a little bit of a tough run at the moment in terms of irreplaceable band drummers. You think about guys like Charlie Watts, Vinnie Paul with Pantera and Hell Yeah, Joey Jordison with Slipknot, and a slew of others. I mean, you're talking about guys who are instantly recognizable for the bands that they're in, and tremendously influential. But most importantly, I feel, guys that have inspired just scores of drummers and musicians to go, holy shit, I want to do that. And Taylor is most certainly in that league in my book. He'll be very, very, very sorely missed. My condolences out to his family and friends. Thanks for the inspiration.